Do you feel the impact? Hello everyone, it's Leo. It is time to talk about episode 48 from Wonderful PreCure. I'm still trying to process my feelings. I am really throughoutly impacted by the events of this episode, especially the big reveal. I have seen lots of people theorizing that, but I was not believing. And well, they were right and I was wrong. Gao is actually Subaru. It's not the wolf Gao. It's the human who was friends with him. And girl, my mind is blown away. I am shocked. So let's talk about it. The episode starts with Gao coming into Animal Town together with a huge pack of wolves. And the action already kind of starts because we see the girls transforming into cures. And the wolves start attacking Animal Town. The girls, the cures, they go after the wolves and they try to stop them. They have a hard time, but they keep on trying while we have Niko-sama trying to stop Gao. This is a strategy created by Niko herself. Niko told the girls to go and stop the wolves and she would deal with Gao. And some of the things that Niko say are really interesting, and I feel like they are things that they've been trying to tell not only Gao but also Torame and Zakuro, which is it's impossible to bring the wolves back. We can't. The wolves have been extinct. They have been killed in the past. But look at the relationship that the humans and animals have now. All of the humans in Animal Town were protecting the animals they love so much. It's a different era. It's a different experience. It is a different relationship. And humans and animals now, at least in this place in the world, they live in harmony. And humans protect the animals. Obviously, we're talking about a utopia, but we're talking about a kids show. And in this kids show, we have the scenario in which humans and animals coexist nicely. In the real world, do we have that? I don't think we do. But there, in Animal Town, in Wonderful PreCure, it exists. And it's enough to create an argument against what Gao is trying to do. But Gao does not listen, and I do understand his side. Seeing all his pack and everyone that he loved so much get killed, get decimated with no chance of survival must be really hard. And this grudge has been living for years and eras and ages. And I can understand that. It's very hard to go over something so strong that happened to you, something that there is no wolf left from his pack. All of the wolves were killed. So how do you recover from that? I mean, they're already dead. There's no recovery. But how does your spirit recovers from that? Torame was able to do it. But Gao is the one that has been feeding this grudge for so long. And now it's not really Gao, but still. And then we have a power combat between Gao and Niko-sama. And Niko-sama defends herself with a shield. Cure Anje, that is how you do it, honey. And when Mei was trying to protect a cat, Niko protected Mei, but because of this, she was not able to protect herself and she was hit. And after she was hit, the Gao idea was to get the Niko diamond. And it's funny, the way he calls Niko diamond unicorn. It's so cold and it's so formal as well. It's an interesting way of, getting this because he doesn't even call her actual name. He uses a title to distance himself from her even more because the only thing that matters for him, he doesn't want to create bonds. He wants to destroy. I mean, he wants to create something that was lost. And now we know what it is. He wants to create the forest of Gao that Gao loved so much. And then he gets the diamond for himself, and then he starts using the power of the diamond, and Animal Town starts being destroyed to give place to the forest that the wolves lived in the past. And then and I love that scene of Niko because it's so rare to see this in magical, especially like magical girl media. Like someone is distracted a little bit, and I not magical girl media, I think kids media in general. Someone distracts a little bit and then the other person bam attacks. I mean, it's okay for a villain to do that, but for a hero to do that, it's kind of rare. And Niko-sama took the opportunity and she hit Gao. And when she did, we were able to see Gao is not Gao. It's actually Subaru, the human who was friends with Gao. And so we start learning a little bit more about Subaru. I really hope this is not all. I hope we see a lot more next episode because I am still grasping for straws here. But we learned a lot about this story. The first thing is that we learned that the wolves were decimated just because of human greed. Humans wanted more space and they wanted to invade the place that the wolves lived, and for that they had to kill the wolves because wolves would not accept humans living there. And so they decimated the wolves just for that. And that feels very, very real. I like it a lot. It's simple, but it's very effective. But before that, we see that Subaru had such a deep bond with Gao, and he started having a deeper bond with the whole wolf pack. And we even see Torame and Zakuro, they have different colors as wolves as well. And this deep bond that he had made the other wolves see him as a wolf. He was not really a human for them. He was also part of the pack. And it's like Subaru was actually the first furry. Girl, he even has his own persona who is Gao. Not really, I'm joking, but you know, he was part of the pack. The wolves saw him as another wolf. But here's the thing. We also now learn that Subaru was sleeping. Okay, so all the wolves were killed. Subaru wasn't. And he slept. He basically died. And his spirit kept on living. And he kept on living and living and living. And this spirit ended up fusing with a tooth from one of the wolves. Maybe it was Gao's tooth in the shrine. And then the Gao we see right now was born. And it's kind of hard because we are missing one very important perspective in all of this. Gao. We see Subaru's perspective, and we see Gao's perspective through Subaru. Is this what Gao really wants? We don't know. We know what Subaru wants. And even though it was very simple, I still feel like we need a little more. And I feel like we're getting it next week. I hope we are getting it next week. And I want to see the connection between this story and the Mirror Stone. And also, how does Gao or Subaru know about Niko-sama and Niko Garden? Why did he attack Niko? I mean, he attacked Niko Garden searching for the Niko Diamond. That's what I understood. And that's it. And so while we have everything happening with Subaru, we also have the wolves attacking. So the cures are after the wolves. And we also have Zakuro. Zakuro has been a character who's been in love with Gao, and she kept on saying this lots and lots of times. And now Gao is not really Gao anymore. So what is really going on? I thought she was going to be shocked, but she was not. She knew all along. And her love was actually for Subaru. That's what I understood. So I've been talking to some friends and we have different interpretations here. I really want to know your interpretation. Please leave in the comments. In my interpretation, she's always been in love with Subaru. As I was saying before, Subaru was part of the pack of the wolves, and all the wolves saw Subaru as a wolf. Even though he's a human, they saw him as a wolf. So, and even Subaru was part of the pack, and he was. I feel like he was. He felt like he was a wolf as well. I don't know, but they saw him as a wolf, and so Zakuro was in love with Subaru because for her he is a wolf. And when she said Gao, when she said that she was in love with Gao, it's because she now sees him as Gao, as the leader of the pack. But it doesn't mean that he is Gao. So I understood. And then there was a moment in which she said to one of the cures, like, I would never mistake the one I love. So she knew it was Subaru all along, and that's who she loves. But I've seen other interpretations as in she actually loved Gao. And now just because Subaru is Gao, she loves Gao, the new version of Gao as well. But for me, the one she loves, or the one she always loved and now keeps on loving, is actually Subaru. And so we have a very nice look. I have to give it to this scene, to this episode, because I am not someone who enjoys the chase scenes that much, but we had such a good one this episode. It was so good. And the way they, especially Friendy, kept on using the kid-eating animals, like, and she kept on changing the kid-eating animals that she was using. It was so nice just to capture all of the wolves together. And it was really nice because a little before that, we saw Satoru talking like, oh, they're wolves. They like to attack in packs. It's what Satoru does. He explains what the animals do, and then the cures, they think of something based on what Subaru said and based on what the animals are, their instincts, etc. And that's what she did. She was finding a way of getting the pack all together to, bring them all together and purify them all together. And the only downside is that it was very Friendy focused. I wanted to see all of them shining a lot, but it was very Friendy focused. But it's not a complaint. I'm just a little salty because Nyami did nothing basically. We had wonderful helping. We had Lillian helping, and then we had Nyami, who didn't do much in this part. But, it was so good. It was so good. And then the last wolf that got Friendy, and the way she just talked to him and just caressed him a little bit, he just licked her and that was it. Girl, this was such a beautiful scene. And I feel like it's kind of a circular moment because it's interesting how she had to use all of their power to capture the wolves and to bring them all together. And then with the last wolf, she used what they used in the beginning. Just a little bit of a soft voice, a warming heart, a caressing hand. That's enough. They are animals that are scared. And there's the whole philosophy. And I feel like the philosophy in this episode, it was kind of what Wonderful PreCure has been all about, this whole series. And it's mostly like they wanted to be friends. Subaru and Gao, they wanted to live their friendship. And the wolves also wanted to live their friendship. When you're feeling grief, when you're feeling pain, it hurts you. It is sad. And so we want to save, we want to help. And as I said, we see Subaru's point of view, but we don't see Gao's point of view. Gao's point of view might be a little different than Subaru's. And I believe that in that Halloween episode that we saw a howl that Komugi listened to, that might have been Gao. And not really the Gao we've seen the whole series. The original Gao, who is not the current Gao. So I think that that might have been him. And he's also looking for friendship. He also might want to rest in peace. And it's hard. It's hard because it feels so unfair after what they've been through. But that might be what they are trying to do there with his character. And so they purify everybody, but a little before they purify everybody, there's a moment with Zakuro. And I feel like this moment with Zakuro, it's just reaffirming the philosophy of Wonderful PreCure. Once again, being friends, being able to touch on other people's hearts. And we've seen it before with Nyami and Lillian, with Zakuro, and now it is time for Friendly and Wonderful. And Friendly and Wonderful, they have a different approach, a very different approach than Nyami and Lillian. And they are a little bit more childish. They are a little bit, not a little bit, they are very innocent in their perspective. And the innocence that they have, the purity that they have in their hearts, it worked so well in this episode. And it worked perfectly with Zakuro as well. The way they hugged Zakuro, the way they laughed together, the way Nyami and Lillian were also laughing. It was really, really nice. I loved that moment. And because of that, smiles and good moments, Niko could restore a bit of her power because, it's Niko smiles. And so her power was back a little bit. She was able to return, and they were able to perform the purification move because they need Niko-sama to be there. But they did not purify Zakuro, just like they did with Torame, because they want Zakuro to be there until the end. And they want Zakuro to have her moment with Subaru. And it's really nice. It's really nice. I like that Zakuro is still there. She deserves it. And then at the end, we see Gao attacking once more. And now all of Animal Town is a huge forest. And everyone has been captured, except for Niko, Satoru, Daifuku, and Meimei. Everyone else has been captured. There's nothing left. Just the huge forest that Gao loved. And I love that last scene of Subaru saying, like, look, the forest you love so much is back. And then he howled. It's powerful and it's sad. I look at Subaru and I cannot see a villain. I can only see a scared, a hurt, a lost soul that wanted to have a life full of friendships with the pack that he loved so much. But he was not able to have that. That was taken from him. And that created this grief that is so powerful that it created a new Gao. And now for next week, I feel like, at least to me, I really want a huge focus on Subaru. Because this episode was not enough, to me at least. I want more and more and more Subaru. And look, now, Subaru being a human, or originally a human, I can understand the methods a little better. Because this was always holding me back with Gao. I was always on Gao's side. I was always on everyone's side in this season, but I was always on Gao's side, as in I understood Gao's philosophy and I understood his feelings, but he always said that he wanted to help the animals, but he was actually hurting them by turning them into garugarus and gaogons. That's not what the animals wanted. So why was he doing that? And now with Gao actually being Subaru, who was originally a human, it's a little bit more understandable, I feel like. I don't know. Just saying. Next week it's going to be fire. Are we going to have Daifuku? Are we going to see Daifuku actually doing something in this show? I am legitimately curious. I feel like next week the tears are going to fall. I'm ready to have my heart wrecked. Anyways, babies, this was my view on episode 48 from Wonderful PreCure. Oh my god. Please share yours in the comment box below. Let's keep discussing it. Let's keep talking about it. Anyways, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member, thank you very much for your support. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.